Hello everyone, sad times here at the One Play Sports Spectrum because for the last time this month we check in with the Legends Club legend for March, Mr. Michale Gray. He'll be joining us in just a couple of moments' time after I thanked all our amazing sponsors. There they are behind me on the wall that's got it all. Got to give them all a shout because it's the last show of the month. Do bear with me because there's many of them that all need our appreciation for helping us bring this show to you. Our friends at Aladdin, Exchange Bar, Muddy Murphy's, Match Attacks, Picketing, Lenoir, Clubhouse, Star Balm, Little League, great coaching setup in Malaysia. And I hear they've just signed a huge deal to take care of all the youth system in Malaysia. That's great to hear. Solitaire LLP for all your legal problems. Hope I don't have to speak to them anytime soon. The Els Club, Trouble Brewing, Smith's Fish and Chips, Sahara, best hummus in Asia, no question about it. Great nightlife at Magumbo's. I'll be taking Michale Gray there when he comes back to Singapore. Aris Studio, Nestia, Expat Living, Heroes Bar, another great bar that. And also Akin, give them a mention as well. Thanks to all our sponsors, and don't forget for just $10 for the next 6 months, you could be a member of the Legends Club as well. I'll give you more details on that at the end of the show. But let's go to Michale for the last time in March. Are you there, Michale? Good to have you back with us in the studio. How have you enjoyed your experience this month with the Junior Legends, the Legends Club members, and generally being part of this sort of transcontinental experience?
It's been absolutely fantastic, I have to say that. And the Junior Legends, my goodness, I was under pressure then.
I know, mate. It's a bit like being questioned in a prisoner of war camp, having them giving you all that stick.
Yeah,
now, listen, to be fair, the Legends and the great Legends Club members, the Junior Legends, they've not left me much to ask you, but a couple of bits of your career. I know you touched on something that not many people know about, that you had the opportunity to start your schoolboy career at Manchester United, but made a conscious decision because of the presence of Ryan Giggs in that same youth setup to edge away, which obviously proved the right decision from your point of view. But the Junior Legends and some of our other members covered that, so I don't want to go into that in greater detail. There are two things from your career, two little bits of controversy that maybe you can have your say and set the record straight on. And the first one is the issue with the Ferrari and Mick McCarthy. Now, you know what the papers are like. They get this stuff blown out of proportion. What was the true story of you turning up to training in the Ferrari and Mick McCarthy fining you 2 weeks' wages? What was the story behind that?
Oh, I wish more people had asked me this question many years ago. But no, I think what had happened was I'd signed a new contract at Sunderland. And on the back of that, we were really successful at the time. And I went out and bought myself. I'd always wanted a Ferrari. So 3 months prior, I'd ordered this Ferrari knowing that I was going to sign a new contract. So the Ferrari arrives 3 months later, but the day it arrives, I drive into the training ground, and Mick McCarthy's waiting there. I park the car up. Obviously, it's a very loud car, and we go into the dressing room, and unbeknown to me and anybody else at the club, certainly on the playing side of things, we had a big meeting, and we'd found out that 90 people had lost their jobs at the football club. So obviously we were all disappointed because we had friends. It was a very close-knit club. And Mick McCarthy kind of pulled me to one side and he said, look, everybody's been laid off at the football club. And he said, you've just came driving in a Ferrari. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? I said, I've had it ordered for 3 months. I said, I can take it home if you want me to. So he said, look, if you don't mind taking it home, he said, that's completely fine. I mean, I lived 2 minutes away from the training ground anyway, so it wasn't a problem. So I got in my car, I took it home, I came back to the training ground in another car. And the story goes that I got fined 2 weeks' wages, and that was one of the reasons that Mick McCarthy sold me from the football club, or my club, should I say. And it's just completely not true at all. Mick McCarthy basically had a conversation with me, asked me to take my car home, which I did, and I came back to the training ground. No fines, didn't get sold on the back of that. So we all know what clubs are like. Everybody just tries to build a big story. But that was it, to be honest with you. And it's been around that story now for about 20-odd years. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Well, we set the record straight now. The Legends Club setting the record straight. It's taken you to speak to Singapore to finally get your version of events.
Yes.
And, of course, where's the Ferrari now?
Where is it now?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm 46 now. I can't even climb into a Ferrari, never mind look at one. But, I stick to me Jeeps now. So I think I sold that. I think I sold it about, I don't know, 12 or 13 years ago. But it was a beautiful car. It was one of my dreams to drive one, and I got that opportunity.
Well, that's what it's about, mate. Working hard, fulfilling your dream to become a footballer. That's one of the perks of the jobs, isn't it? I don't think anyone could begrudge you that. But I'm glad you set the record straight on that one, because obviously you were perfectly reasonable and didn't cause the fuss that the papers made out at the time. And again, another bit of controversy. And let you put the record straight on this one and tell me this one didn't happen. What was the story about the fight with Wayne Rooney in 2006? You got to give me some juice. I bought you on the Ferrari. Come on, tell me you had a scrap in a car park with Wayne Rooney.
Oh, right, okay. How do I keep this one clean with no swear words, etc.? So we both obviously had our games against, not against each other this certain weekend, but because Manchester's, it's a viable city, everybody wants to kind of go out and enjoy themselves. So I was at Blackburn at the time, and Wayne was at Manchester United, and obviously he is the big star. And we both ended up in the same club. I was with my teammates, and I think Wayne was with a few of his teammates and a couple of his close friends. And we'd had too much to drink. There's no doubt about that. And our tables were basically next to each other. And I think I'd leant over, being very drunk, and said some expletives or whatever I'd said. Because at the time, look, I can say this because I'm a single guy. There was a lot of girls around, and I was looking around at who was in the club. And I don't know if Wayne liked that, but he had a couple of minders alongside him. And I must have said something in my drunken state. The next thing I know, he's turned around, punches me in the face, then sits down again in between his two minders. So then, I sobered up very quickly, and in the blink of an eye, there's 4 or 5 of the stewards, or doormen, if you like, around both of the tables. I was asked to leave the club. And then the next day was the one for me, because I just thought, okay, that's it. I've been punched in the face. We've had a misunderstanding. But the next day, I was just about to leave my house. And where I lived, I had this long drive. And then at the end of the drive, there was a big row of bushes. And as I come out of the house, I was just about to come out of the house, and there was about a line of 30 to 40 cameramen and cameras waiting to try and get a photograph of me, because they'd obviously heard the story, and they were probably looking for a picture of a black eye or something, I don't know. So I had to quickly go back into the house, put my sunglasses on, because I did have a little bit of a mark on my eye. I came into the car, I got into the car, I drove to Blackburn's training ground, then getting to Blackburn's training ground. Again, there was another 10 to 15 cameramen, the Sky TV cameras were there. There was other camera people who wanted to interview me to try and find out what had gone on. And I just drove into the training ground. As soon as you get in there, there's nobody can obviously see you. Took my sunglasses off, went in. Mark Hughes was the manager at the time. So I thought I'd better tell him what's gone on, just in case he doesn't know. So I told him the story, and he just said, look, don't worry about it. He said, you just go out and train like you normally do. He says, this is obviously great publicity for the club itself, because Blackburn obviously not being as big as Manchester United. But I've seen Wayne since. We've laughed and giggled about it. We were young lads enjoying ourselves. Maybe me enjoying myself a little bit too much, but that was how the story goes. But we're fine now.
Well, I'll take that. That's a bit salacious. At least we ended on a salacious note, because with the perfect skin and the Mr. Nice Guy act, it was becoming a little bit predictable, this, Michael. So at least we've dug into your past and found something that was a little bit controversial. But again, sounds like you handled that very well, Michael. Time is against us as always. Many thanks indeed. Please, from everyone here in Asia, all the Legends Club members, stay safe over there in the UK, and we can't wait to be welcoming you back to Asia with all your Legends mates for some of those great games and great nights you give us in the stadiums. Thanks, Michael. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in Asia again soon.
My pleasure. Really look forward to it. Take care.
Thanks, Michael. All the best to Michael Gray, joining us live from the UK via Zoom. That just about does it for March. Keep checking back with One Play Sports to find out who our April legend is going to be. Thanks to all our magnificent sponsors. And one last reminder that for just $10 for the next 6 months, that's not $10 per month, $10 for the whole 6 months, the first 25 people to sign up to the Legends Club at that special rate get a copy of Emil Heskey's book. That's got to be worth $10 on its own. A Legends Club shirt and access to all the exclusive Legends Club Zooms, along with all those benefits that we tell you about that you can see up on the screen there. So get joining the Legends Club, and maybe you could be zooming your favourite legend in April. But for now, from the One Play Sports Spectrum, stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next month.